Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I'm going to be doing something that's been a bit requested across the page and stuff like that. Just a bit of a how-to, go through sort of the main controls of the game. I had some people sort of in that last video just asking what how to sort of more specifically if I can go through how to do certain things, and I'm going to try and do a bit of an all-encompassing video here. Again, I'm going to play as the Blues in Queensland because it's nice and easy. I'm going to play it on rookie one more time. I'm going to have big, long half lengths just so I can really sort of take my time and go through everything. I'm just going to turn off. Oh, apparently, you can't turn that off. That's cool. I'll just have Vossi and Smith on for the commentary pair. Don't worry about the lineup, that's irrelevant because I've got it on rookie. And yeah, so I just thought I'd go through, once the game gets started, I'll show you. But yeah, we're just going to go through and just demonstrate sort of the main basics, so like how the passing works, how to get it to certain players that you want it to, how to defend, how to sidestep, how to do all the sort of basic stuffs, and then after that's done, I'll give a quick sort of tips and
Hello,
tricks kind of,
everyone.
or the
I'm
way I
in.
like to play. I'll just quickly go into the settings here and just turn off the commentary for a second, just so they're not talking over me. Um, where's audio commentary? We'll just turn that off real quick. Actually, in fact, might make more sense just for now, just to turn off the master volume. Okay. So I'm not going to be going through those, like the settings and stuff like that, but I will pause in a second to show the controls I'm talking about first. So before we even start off, I'll just go into, so I know there is a way to go into settings and go into the controller controls. Okay, so that sort of shows, this shows off everything here. Now, this is kicks, we don't care about that just yet. We're going to go into when you're sort of running, when you have the ball. Okay. Now, what we're going to try and just show you real quick, I don't know why. Oh, it's got evades on here as well, I see. So, if you can have a look on the right-hand side where the right thumbstick is, so the big letter R, you've got up to fend. It doesn't show you that it needs to be a flick up to fend. Okay, if you hold it up, it's going to do something different, which I'll go through soon. Left and if you hold it left or hold it right or flick it left and or flick it right, it will get your player to try to do a sidestep, and then if you click R3, it'll do a hit up. Now on defense, that clicking in the R3 equates to a big hit. Now, because I have it on rookie, basically these are almost always going to go through. So on the rookie is the easiest mode. These are always going to succeed. Now, something that's very important is as the difficulty goes up, these will succeed less and less through the game. Amateur and pro, they still will succeed a lot. In veteran, you'll still see it a little bit, and to be honest with you, um, in legendary or legend, they will rarely work. They're very difficult to work. So we're just going to show you first how, like, just defend, sidestep, hit up, those types of things, and then we'll go into it from there. Movement, obviously, is your left stick. That's how you move around, and R2 is to sprint. So, for example, off a kickoff, I might run forward, and I might hold it forward. So I'm holding right stick forward at the moment to do a bit of a driving run. Okay, and I'll do it again just to show off one more time. So doing a bit of a driving run, I'm holding it forward, and you'll see that Mitchell Moses drives through. In rookie, it's nice and easy. Now, in this time, I'm going to flick it. Right before I get to a defender, I'm going to flick it up, flick the right stick up. So see how when I did that, he fended? Okay, and I'll show it one more time here. So I'm going to flick the right stick up right before the line, and he does it again. So in rookie, it's very easy. You can do it early timing. So even I can do it one more time where I'll flick it very early and you'll see the difference. So I'm flicking up now and he still does it. Whereas if you did it on amateur and you flicked it up at that point, that wouldn't have happened. Okay, well, didn't have to hit me that hard. I'm just bloody standing here. Okay, so now I'm just going to quickly demonstrate, and I'll score a try here. Don't worry about it. I'll just give them the ball back. Demonstrating a sidestep. So we'll start off with a sidestep. So right, I'm going to sidestep right. I'm going to flick it left. I'll sidestep left. And that little jump that he just did there, that was actually automatic. So the little when they try to dive, your player will automatically try to avoid that. Okay. Now it's a good opportunity for us to show defense to demonstrate that. So just go back to settings for a second. Go into the controls. So you'll see for defense here, this is a very important one. A lot of people have been complaining about head highs in the game and things along this. So basically, you're more likely to you're more likely, and or actually you're very much more likely to have a high tackle when you sprint into people. Now there is no button you actually have to press to tackle a player. That's not. There's no actual button. You can just walk into them. So right now I'll show you. First of all, actually, I'll show you the interchange. So, sorry, not interchange, just to change between defenders. So, the way I personally do it is I press L1. Now, you can tap it if you want, and it'll cycle between the closest player to the defender. And it's supposed to work where if you hold L1 or R1 and you move your right stick left and right, it goes to the next person. To be honest with you, that doesn't work all the time. Now, when I'm defending here, so what I like to typically do is I will hold L2 for controlled movement. That means that when you do that, you are not going to get penalized for a head high, but it is more likely that the other team's going to be able to evade you with their different, like the different fends and things along those lines. So I'm pressing L1 at the moment to cycle to the closest player, and I didn't press anything to tackle him then. That just did that automatically. I'll try that. Oh, I'm offside. See, that was automatically done. I didn't press a single thing there, which is kind of a flaw, I suppose, in this at times, where when you um, aren't pressing anything, but it's your own player marker, they can take advantage of that. So I'm going to try this one more time. I'm going to hold L2, and you'll see that he moves. Brian, no, that's Crichton. So you'll see that he sort of moves, like shuffles sideways. So I'll try this again with somebody. I'm pressing L1 and holding right now to flick it right, and it's a little bit buggy, so I prefer to just tap L1 to cycle. Now, L1. R1 cycles between the closest three, I believe, and then L1 um, tries to get to the closest one player. So I'm going to try. It'd be nice if they would throw it out so I could have an opportunity to demonstrate it. Alright, so I'm holding L2 and I'm doing control movement and I didn't press another button, I just held L2 and ran into him. Little tip, I like to try and scoot out from marker here and press triangle. So what triangle is, that button, okay, is a diving tackle. So if somebody's making a break, you press triangle. That's how you would try to like dive at them and tap the legs or ankle tap. So it's a little bit of a cheat, I guess you could call it, but it does work. Where if you sprint out from marker and you try to tackle the kicker with triangle, you can sort of make that tackle animation happen there. All right, now we have the ball back. So we've shown off the fend. We've shown off the sprint. We haven't shown off the big hit, so I suppose we'll do that first. So just clicking in R3 for this one. So the right stick, you're just clicking that in. All right, well, running at somebody. Now, it works more effectively if you sprint. I know just then I wasn't sprinting, okay, but that's because this is on rookie, and you can pretty much just do that infinitely on rookie. They're not really gonna defend you very well. But you want to be sprinting to be more likely for that to come off. Okay, let's see if there's any settings that I've missed. Um, Okay, we'll get into. We'll have a quick look at the passing. I've been told that the passing something there. So basically, to pass left, you want to press L1. To pass right, you want to press R1. Now, what you'll see if you're at hooker is when you hold down these buttons, triangle, X, square, and circle will pop up in front of certain players, and it'll tell you who that's going to go to, basically. If you don't know, typically holding R1 or L1 and pressing circle will cut at the first player, triangle cuts out the second player, X says to go to the first receiver, and then square is to cut out the third player, so that's a big pass. Now, with that as well, if you just tap it, you're going to do a flat pass, which is usually a bit harder and faster, and if you double tap it, you'll do a deep pass. So I'll do a demonstration for a big pass, sorry, holding L1 and double tapping square. See how he passes it nice and deep back to Latrell there. I'll just try and get tackled here real quick. Oh, come on, mate. Now I'm going to hold R1. Now you'll see that the names will pop up, and let's say for X, I see that Isaiah Yo was there, so I wanted to go to him. Okay, that's basically the gist of that. Now, if you want to pass to a halfback, there's ones with the stars on them. If you press L1 and R1 at the same time, okay, you'll see that that actually gets back to them there. So I've just done a kick there to give them back the ball so we can do a little bit more defending just to show off some more stuff. So like I said before, if you click in the right stick, you can do a big hit. So I'll show you that. And that's basically it. So again, in rookie mode, it's nice and easy if you want to have a muck around with how to do it. But you're just clicking in the right stick, and that's basically showing off the big hit animation there, which I still really like the new animation. Alright, we're going to get into the passing one more time. So basically this one's a triangle pass, and I've just tapped it there. I didn't double tap it. So you'll see that if I double tap it, you'll see how much slower the animation is. Okay, that's the difference between a deep pass and a normal pass. Alright, I'm just going to get tackled here, and I'm going to demonstrate the kicks. Okay, now we'll go across into the kicking. So yeah, if you want to pass it to a halfback, it's just L1 and R1 at the same time, and it will go to the closest half you have. But the important part, actually, I'll just quickly, the important part about that is, so for example, the hooker, right? So his stats are very high in passing. This will be able to get the distance across to your half there. I'm just going to quickly see if I can pass it to Reese Robson. All right, let's see if we can get him tackled. Now you'll notice the other star is very far away, and right now Latrell Mitchell's getting into the halves. Now I pressed L1 and R1, he got tackled, of course. Sorry, I meant he passed to Cleary, of course. I'm trying to demonstrate. So if you have somebody with a low passing rate, like a forward, and they get into it, see how Reece Robson can throw that all the way there? Most players won't be able to do that. So I'm pressing L1 and R1, and I can get that whole distance all the way across to Moses. But if you had like a forward go in there, it wouldn't get all the way across to them. Right, now it's last tackle. It's a good opportunity to talk about the kicking. So, you have different types of kicks in this game. You have in-play kicks. Well, these are all technically in-play kicks, but they're a bit different. So, if you're trying to do a targeted kick, so for example, let's say you're on around the 30, 20 roughly area and you want to put up a bomb to try and get to that bomb. So what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to hold L2. Now, this is a little different to the way it used to be in the other games. It used to be when you hold L2, that was like the longer you hold L2 is the longer that the distance goes. It isn't like that anymore. So basically, you have a lot of time on the ball to hold, well, in this mode you will. You'll have a lot of time on the ball to hold L2, move the circle where you want it to be, and then you can either tap or hold circle for a bomb. And you'll see that when I do this in a second, that the circle will get smaller. So basically, the longer you hold circle, the more control you have over where that ball will land. And that applies to also your halves will have more control over where the ball goes. So I'm going to try and do a big cutout pass like I said. See how it didn't work that time? Okay, great. I'm going to hold L2, find where I want to kick, and I just tapped circle there. So it just went roughly into this big circle area. But if I had held circle, basically that would have gone a little bit more accurate into where I wanted it, and I could potentially have put it into a corner. What I'll try and do is I'll just quickly put a big shot on so I can get a knock on here, because these guys are on rookie, so they drop the ball a fair bit when you do that. So this is that example of that triangle I was talking about, so sort of sprinting out from marker and doing that. Um, okay, well, I'm just going to have to get the ball back, I guess. I'll sort of show you what I mean when I talk about this, like sprinting out from marker. So you look where a half is. At the moment, I think there's a half on the left. Well, I've missed it there, but if you had have done that, usually they knock it on. Right, so I'll get tackled here real quick with Brian. Oh, that was a head high. So we're going to do a quick L1 and R1 to go to Jerome. You're going to hold it and see how that circle popped up there, and it went exactly. It's going to go exactly where I want it to go, kind of thing. What we'll do, we'll try and let them kick it off this time, so we can get to a punt, or we can just get the ball back, I suppose. We'll run it back real quick and just try to get tackled down nice and far back. So basically this is the exact same idea, except this time you're going to hold L2 and X for distance. So we'll try and see if we can do a 40-20 maybe, just for demonstration purposes. I might just try and take a quick scoot to get a little bit further forward, and that way my my hooker will get the ball. Alright, this should go across to Nathan Cleary here. So I'm going to attempt a 40-20. Oh. So even in rookie mode, I feel like the line does move up very quickly. You can't take too long to kick it. I will just get the ball back really quickly and show that one more time. But it's just L2 and X. There isn't too much more to that. The next thing I'll demonstrate after that is some in-game kicking and how that sort of works. For some reason my big hits aren't working at the moment. I'm wondering if that one was because it was Brian Toto and he's like small in this game. Potentially. I'll also get into some of the like passing certain lines as well, but they don't really work all that well in this game, I've noticed. For some reason, even if you pass it to a person and it says they're running a certain line, sometimes they don't. Alright. We're just going to stop him from kicking it here. Actually, we'll let it go so I can demonstrate. Oh, I didn't. It didn't pop up with the circle to show how to sort of receive on kicks. Alright. So basically, I'll just do a big punt kick here. So I'm just going to kick it, pass it to Luai. So L2, all the way forward as far as you can kick it. And I just tapped X. You don't have to hold X. It just does the job for you once you kick it. That was a better kick. Okay. The next thing I'll demonstrate is in-play kicking. So grubbers and chips. I'll just get the ball back really quickly. Be good if I could put a big shot on here. I just showed you how to do it. Now it's not working. There it is. Okay, so I've been tackled here, right? Now, basically, you go to the controls, you'll see that X is to kick. So basically, you can either tap it or hold it. Now, depending on how much time you have, is what you'll do with that. Now, same thing with a chip, except if you hold circle, it will become a field goal. So you don't want to hold circle, you just want to tap it. So I'll demonstrate a grubber kick real quick. So this is just me, I'm going to hold X, basically. I'm going to try to find a nice line where I'm not going to kick into a player. Oh, let's try and reset. So I'm going to try and hold X. There's no line that pops up, but you see that he does a grubber kick there. It's annoying that they keep getting the ball back and there's no way to demonstrate it in like a practice mode, but and then I'll show you chip kick. So usually what I'll try to demonstrate that properly next time. Here we go. So I'll try and go to Nathan Cleary here and just show a proper grubber kick that will work. Normally I try to run forward, put the kick through. They've knocked that on there, so that'll be good. I'll be able to do it properly off a scrum. This will work better. So big long grubber. I held X for a bit there, and usually I can run through and sort of collect it from there and then play on, but that's fine. If it doesn't work, that's okay. We'll just try and get the ball back, and I'll show you the chip. Then I'll show you how to do a field goal. Now, field goals are a bit broken in this game, to be completely honest with you, because you can hold circle with any player, pretty much from anywhere, and kick it in a certain direction that you aim the left stick. So they're very broken if you are sort of stuck in a deadlock of a game and you want to kick a field goal. You can pretty much kick them with anyone if you can go straight in front of the sticks. It doesn't really matter who you go with. I'm just trying to get in front with a player. Righto. Okay. So, chip kick. That is circle, and you want to time this very well so that it gets, like you see, you're running into the line. So, for example, I'll try and do it with whoever this is. Payne Haas, it looks like. Big circle right before the line, and then that's a chip kick there. So, for example, sometimes in a game, I might have like a halfback try to do like a nice play where I might put a grubber through. I'll go through and pick it up. I might do a chip kick after that. If I'm still getting defended on, I might pass it along and do something along those lines. So obviously I've just scored there. I'll quickly go through the kicking. So obviously you can move it backwards and forwards however far you want. This is Zach Lomax, so he'll probably miss it. Just kidding. Basically, this is nice and simple. You should have practiced this when you were waiting for the game to load up. But right stick back, build up your power. Right stick forward. It's just pretty much that simple. If you can hit your degrees right, it'll go where that line is. If you hit to the right or the left of it with your right stick, it'll change. There's not much more to sort of talk about that there. Alright, and the last thing I'll quickly show you before we move on is a field goal. So I'll just quickly get up. So left on the right stick to step. Okay. I'll just do it while I'm right in front. So I'm just going to hold circle and let go. Wow, okay, he must have a bad skill potentially, or I don't know whether they've changed that so that your field goal skill makes a difference, because that was bad. Alright, let's get it. What? We'll get it back. Well, look, basically that's the gist of it. You hold the left stick in the direction you want to aim, hold the right stick, put the right stick where the ball, you don't have to do anything with the right stick. I don't know why I keep saying it. I'll just do that one more time to show you. So holding R1, I'm going to go across to, let's say, Dylan Edwards again. Right, I'm just going to hold circle. Okay. So it says he's knocked it on. It's a bit rough on him. Alright, I'm going to press L1 and R1 to go to Cleary, because Cleary should be able to kick one. Hold circle, aim towards the stick, and basically wherever your left stick is aiming is where the ball will go. That's that simple. Alright, we'll have a quick look at see if there's any settings that I've missed before I go into some gameplay stuff. So, fend, try attempt. Okay, so tapping square once will put the ball down if you're in the line. Double tapping will attempt a diving try. Diving tries are more likely to sort of drop the ball if you're diving from too far away, as I've learned with Adokar. Oh, I forgot about taunt. This isn't an important gameplay thing, but I will sort of just chuck it in here anyway, because I might as well. So basically, if you're making a break, I don't know if you can do it before you're making a break. Let's find out. Oh, you can. So even before you're making a break, you can taunt. What I'll do, I'll make a quick break, because it's on rookie, and it shouldn't be that hard. So I'll go through with Isaiah Yo real quick. And basically, You're just pressing triangle, and the sprint speed stays the same. But if you know you're going to score, you can press triangle to basically taunt your opponents. Okay. I just realized that I didn't have that trophy. I'll just kick this real quick. Alright, and what else do we have to quickly go through? That's all for kicking. I'll show you the interchange in a second. That's all for passing. Oh, we haven't done some contested catches, so we'll do that in a second. We've shown you defense. The other thing I forgot with defense is if you're using that control movement, so let's say you're holding L2, you can actually drag a player into a certain direction. So what I'll do, I'll give them the ball back, and I'll show you that off real quick. I'll just kick it straight back to them as soon as I get it. Right, so basically, I'm going to switch to a player. And I'm going to hold L2, and then I'm using my right stick to drag. That one didn't work very well. We'll try and do it again. You have to do it pretty quickly. So see how I use my right stick as I held L2? I can actually drag them backwards, but if you have a player who's going over the line, you can try to make a tackle with them and drag them sideways. This isn't turning for me right now, and I'm not entirely sure why, but yeah. So basically, I'm just pushing the right stick to the side, and it's dragging that direction. Okay. We're going to get into some contested catches and how those work. I'm not the best at these, but it should be okay on rookie, surely. Righto, so I'm going to put up a kick, just like I showed you guys, with L2 and circle, and basically, I realize I'm going to get tackled, so I'll get tackled on the next set. Basically what you're doing, okay, I'll just go back onto it for you. So, you've got basically 3 different options. Triangle will tap the ball backwards. If there's a player there, they'll get it. If there's not, then the other team might be able to get that, so it's a bit risky. Pressing X is a safe jump catch, so basically you're trying to, that's probably your what you're trying to press when you're trying to defend a try. If you're trying to score a try, you're trying to press square, because that will get you to jump up into the air to catch it and also put the ball down in the same go. So I'll try to show a triangle, because then I can kick again. So I'll just get tackled here as the first. Then it's just, I'll put a kick up. Sometimes the circle button doesn't come up though, which, there's like a circle that you'll see will pop up. So I'll pop it up here. I'm going to press triangle and see how he taps it back. Now I'll just get tackled again. Why they hit me and just stand there. So I'm going to try and put up another bomb. Now this time I'm going to try and put one into the try line, into the try area, and I'm going to see if I can... Oh, that's bad. That's not going where I want it to. And, well, look, that one was an X. I just pressed X there for him to regather it. I'll try one more time after I get the ball back. Just try and see if I can knock their socks off, get the ball back. No luck so far. It is a bit annoying to sort of put the ball where you want it for kicks, but if you do get really good at it, if you can get good at contested jumps, you can score a lot of tries out of it. Ah, they got it away. Alright, I'm just going to get over to here again, so I can make it happen. Make the tackle happen. Alright, we'll try and go across again to Cleary. I'll see if I can get enough time. Oh, okay. So see how I've put it right in there? We'll see if we can get somebody to get to the ball. No good, apparently. So annoying. I was almost offside there. That little yellow marker indicates that you're offside. I'm sure a lot of you already figured that one out. Now, when you're trying to put a big shot on, as I'm sort of trying to demonstrate here, you have to be straight on with people. Don't know how Lou I just got back on side then all of a sudden. You have to be straight on with people or it won't work. If you're side on, it'll just do a normal tackle. Alright, so I've made him knock it on there. Alright, we're going to try this again with the line nice and close. Alright, we're going to try for a put down try if we can do it. So he jumps off for it, so I just press square. He jumped up and put that down automatically. And I'll see if we can show the highlight here. So you can see the actual animation's pretty nice. So it looks pretty good with the contest. And then, yeah, he automatically puts that down, which is pretty nice there. Alright, I think we're almost through the... I think we are almost through the tutorial I've got here for the controls. I'll just see if there's anything I'm missing. We've done the contested... Oh, I didn't actually know this, so it looks like if you press triangle and you're doing a tap, it looks like with the right stick you can actually do a direction, so you can aim the tap where you want to. I won't show that one off, but it looks like, yeah, you can press triangle, then press R, like move your right stick in a certain direction. Last thing I'll show, so in defense, if you press L1 and R1 together, you'll switch to your fullback, which does work at the moment, they fixed that. And then I'll show you the interchange, and that'll be that for this part of the video. So basically, for interchanging, so I've clicked in the right stick, I can go press up on the D-pad for directions. Let's say I wanted to switch Max King for Spencer Linney. I've pressed right on the D-pad and right again, and that's what's happening. So you'll see that on the right, on the top side, you'll see it says interchange queued. So you probably don't want to be doing this um, when you're attacking. You might want to do it here potentially. Wouldn't be the worst idea. So you're clicking in the big main button at the top of the PlayStation. Let's say you wanted to change it back, you press down. Let's say you wanted to change Luai for Connor Watson, for example. I'm pressing the big main button down. I'm pressing right on the D-pad, and then I'm pressing right on the D-pad again, and it makes that interchange queue. Now the change won't ever happen in defense. It only happens during attack, or if there's a changeover. Okay, and then there should be nothing left as far as I'm aware. So we'll score 1 for good luck because F Queensland, we hate them. Who better to do it with than Nathan Cleary, who doesn't do it in real life? So I've just tried to do a pass and got it intercepted, but that's okay. That's the gist of the controls I wanted to show off. Alright. I believe there's nothing else left to demonstrate. Oh, there is. You can toe poke a ball on. So, okay, so let's say you grubber it, you can press X to toe poke it on. Or if there's a loose ball, you can press and hold square to dive on it. I don't do these very often. I actually didn't know though that you can leave the ball for it to go out. So if you want the ball out, or if you think your player is gonna like grab it and run out, you can hold the right stick in to leave it. That's interesting, and I didn't know that one until just now. Oh, I should go into the tactics. So in game, you have different tactics in defense. So basically, if you click left on the D-pad, your defense will slide left. If you press right on the D-pad, your defense will slide right. If you press up on the D-pad, your wingers will either go to the back as if you're dropping back for a kick, or if you press up again, they'll come back forward. And if you press down, your players will like get central, so they'll come nice and tight in. So that's good for goal line defense potentially. So I'll demonstrate. So sliding left, for example, I've just clicked it. I want them to slide left, so they're sliding left. Well, they kind of did. Let's see if I can do it from fullback. So then we'll slide left, and that's gone back. Sliding right, so you see that all the players will move. Okay. Now if I press down on the D-pad, they'll come... Sorry, down on the D-pad also sends your... is what I meant to say when it says it sends your players to the back. So if I press it again, they'll come forward. Alright, and then if I press up on the D-pad, see how everyone comes in nice and tight? So they'll be defending nice and tight in, and there'll be some wide spaces on the outside as well. I'm going to try and... So I've just clicked R3 to leave it, and it didn't do anything, but also he was going directly to it, so I can see why that happened. Okay, so that's that. Now there's also attacking options, but to be honest with you, they don't work half the time, so I don't even know what I'm doing with that. If I'm being completely honest, they just don't work properly the way they're supposed to. So like for example, if I press up on the D-pad, you'll see there are different ones. If I change it, they just don't go to the same... They don't go to the same things that they show on the screen. Oh, okay. Well, maybe they've patched it because that just worked. So for example, if I press that one... Oh no, okay, so they have fixed it. So it'll actually do the thing that you're supposed to do in the game. Alright, well then I can quickly demonstrate that. So basically pressing up on the D-pad will change your tactics. Okay, you have to press up and then up again on the one that you want. So up, left on the D-pad to change to a different one, and then up again for it to work. So you'll see, I just realized it's last. Put a quick kick up and just do a tap back or something. And we need to get the ball back, so we'll see if we can make them knock it on potentially. No. Just try and knock it on real quick for them, so I can show you these tactics, and we can do some online stuff, like on the line tactics kind of thing, and sort of show you what those work. That I don't tend to use them too often, if I'm being honest, but I want to get better at using them. Trying to put another big shot on, but it's not switching to the players I want to switch it to. There we go. Liam Martin would do that too. Unit. Alright, so we'll take a hit up here and I'll try and sort of demonstrate it. Now, if you can do it from here, you can press up so you know what you want next. I wouldn't typically do that in a game while you're playing, but you should see, so for example, I've pressed up, then up again, and you'll see that you get a bit of a tactical sort of play. So I've just gone across to the right. Now it's given me two options here. So the issue is that sometimes the players don't run them correctly, which is what I don't like. So I'll try that for the next one. Hopefully you should get a bit of an X sort of, yeah, so, and then you want to jog it across. You don't necessarily always want to sprint it. So for example, I'll try and just get an X going. It kind of worked, but there's people in the way. So you can do sort of outside insides and stuff like that with that, but I am not the best at it, but have a play with it and see what you can do. Alright, that's it for the video. Basically, that's most of the controls sort of gone through. Comments about whether you want me to do a bit of a gameplay video and sort of talk to you a little bit about tactics and stuff that I use in games to try and get wins online and things like that.